Pete Alonso is one of the premier power bats in all of baseball. Unrestricted free agency takes place 5 days after the ending of the World Series. It's an exclusive negotiation period is the correct term for teams to negotiate with their impending free agents. So Pete Alonso with the Mets, Kyle Schwarber with Phillies, so on and so forth. And the Red Sox have been geared up to have quite the offseason if the Red Sox are actually going to look to push this team forward. And the Red Sox are in need of reinforcements and they're in need of upgrades. They already have someone like Alex Bregman, who is an impending free agent because he declined his player option. Odds are the Red Sox are going to re-sign him. Had so much success over the course of his career in Fenway. I feel like he really enjoys what the Red Sox were able to do with him on the team. I think there's just so many reasons why Alex Bregman would stick around. I think the Red Sox and him will be able to get a deal done. The world has never been more entangled with gambling. What used to be a taboo topic that could get your kneecap stolen by the mob or some shit is now plastered across NBA arenas, baseball broadcasts, and even team partnerships. I think I may have a solution, and said solution is curated by the engine of Vendetta Sports Media with Vendetta Fantasy Contest. VFC offers the, quote, non-alcoholic beer alternative to gambling. It gives fans the rush of picking spreads and money line totals without the risk of losing your hard-earned money that Mikal Bridges was going to take away from you after placing that 15-leg parlay for $5. You can use that same $5 instead of chasing payouts and users compete for pride, rankings, and community bragging rights. You can challenge friends or join a public contest, all while testing your sports knowledge in a safe, regulated, and legal environment. VFC is built around responsible competition. It captures the excitement of predicting outcomes without the addiction-forming dopamine cycles that come with traditional betting apps, where the remorse of losing is all too familiar. At a time when gambling stories are dominating headlines for the wrong reasons, platforms like Vendetta Fantasy Contest can be the bridge between entertainment and ethics. With your help, view it as your sportsbooks meeting your favorite fantasy sports apps, bundled into one safe haven, free of the risks that these alternatives fail to protect you from. If you go to the Vendetta Fantasy Contest website and you enter this promo code, you will be able to get started for absolutely free. Definitely want to take advantage of because this won't last forever. Vendetta Fantasy Contest is the future and we would love for you guys to be a part of it. Vendetta Fantasy Contest could be the model for what fan engagement looks like in 2025 and beyond. The Pete Alonso front. You look at the Red Sox lost out on their long-term first baseman in Tristan Casas. There's two sides of the fence with Tristan Casas. You think Tristan Casas, what it takes to become one of the premier first basemen in the league, and you're on the other side where you've seen a flash in the pan prospect have a great season. Fact that he had in 2023 and then proceed to just get injured, and the Tristan Casas era for that portion of Red Sox Nation just wants to be over and done with it. Bring in Pete Alonso. I'm of the demographic where I think if Tristan Casas is going to become the player that a lot of people feel that he can be, it's not going to be with the Boston Red Sox. I feel the Red Sox should be looking to offload, whether it's guys that just don't fit their timeline, guys who are kind of log jamming positions. Tristan Casas is not the long-term solution at first base. Just like I think there's a couple other guys I think the Red Sox could be looking to move off of, bring in an even fresher and improved roster so they can get further than losing out in the wild card series. Throughout the last few years for the Boston Red Sox, you've had people like Bobby Dahlbeck who've had time over there, like Kyle Schwarber when he was here for the half season 2021. Really, outside of Mike Napoli, the first base position has been a rotating door before Tristan Casas got there, and then of course Casas has been injured the last couple of seasons, missing significant time, and he's still going to be missing significant time going down with that knee injury. It's another revolving door. You saw Nathaniel Lowe, who was a really good pickup for the Red Sox down the stretch, at least adding that sense of stability and being able to have an everyday first base when you're not throwing guys out of position like how they tried to do with Christian Campbell when they sent him back down to AAA, taking ground balls at first base. They tried to get Rafael Devers to play first base. He wasn't going for it, so they shipped him to San Francisco where he played first base anyway. Before that, you had Abraham Toro, who was playing for the Red Sox for a cup of coffee before they let him go. The Boston Red Sox need to find stability at first base, and I think someone like Pete Alonso can provide that because Pete Alonso is exactly what the Red Sox are looking for. The Red Sox need a power bat in the middle of that lineup. You have guys like Roman Anthony, you have guys like Jarren Duran potentially still being on the roster next year. Alex Bregman, if you bring him back. Willie Abreu supplies some power. At the same time, you need somebody with that actual track record of being a 30 home run guy. You traded that away in Rafael Devers, and now you need to look at somebody to kind of fill that role once again, at least to set the standard for the rest of the guys in the lineup and be that person you can rely on to drive in
runs. Because again, Roman Anthony, I feel like he's going to be great. Marcelo Mayer, he can be great. Cedar Rafael, you know, we're going to get with him, elite defense out there in center field. Alex Bregman, if you saw on the team, is going to be very good. He loves hitting in that ballpark. It's just a matter of him staying healthy. I think if he stays healthy, he's one of the best third basemen in the entirety of baseball. Looking at Pete Alonso's track record, of course, he broke onto the scene with the Mets at 24 years old in 2019, and he hit the rookie record for the National League in home runs with 53 in that season. Ever since the 2021 season, he's been an absolute slugger for the New York Mets. This next contract is going to have him starting in his age 31 season, but from age 26 to his age 30 seasons, that's 2021 through 2025 this past season, he is good for a 253 batting average, 39 home runs, and 30 doubles a season, and 111 RBIs. With an OPS plus of 134, he has finished top 10 in MVP voting twice in his 7-year career, as well as a 5-time All-Star. This past season was probably one of his most complete seasons. The 2025 season, he had 38 home runs, 41 doubles, and 126 RBIs. With an OPS plus of 144, that is the third time in his career that he's had an OPS plus of 140 or better. With Pete Alonso, he's going to give you results. He absolutely mashes at the plate. The things that people will give him crap for is that he is probably one of the worst defensive third basemen in the entirety of the game. Like, absolutely atrocious. It's well documented he's not good at playing first base. You can look at Pete Alonso to be somebody who can play first base and mix in with designated hitter duties as well. Obviously, with first base, you look for somebody with that bat. I would say I would rather have Pete Alonso playing there than somebody who really hasn't had any experience at first base at all. And while some people were like, oh, Rafi could have just been the one to do it, and even then, even throughout the entirety of the contract, because he's probably going to ask for at least 4+ years. He's a Scott Boras client after all, so I'm imagining they're going to try to get the best value for him possible. He's definitely somebody who's going to start DHing at some point in his career, especially with the very lackluster defense. It would definitely be an interesting fit on the defensive side, because I know the Red Sox are looking to upgrade, especially their infield defense, but how much are they going to value that? If they can be able to strike a deal with somebody like a Pete Alonso, at that point, you are looking for someone who you can insert into the middle of that order that is set up by a Bregman, potentially Roman Anthony, and those guys at the top of the order to set up a big bopper like Alonso to spearhead this offense. And while these rest of these guys develop or taking the pressure off of other guys that are already been established, this would really elevate this Red Sox offense, who was kind of starving when it came to first base production, as well as just being able to hit the long ball. The Red Sox were smack in the middle when it came to home run production, with 186 over the course of the season. But if you filter it to only cover first base, the Red Sox are 22nd in MLB with only 16 home runs on the entirety of the season, as well as placing 22nd in first base OPS. You want to know where the Mets rank? Because Pete Alonso played every single game this past season. They rank second in OPS as well as home runs, just because of Pete Alonso. So the fit for Pete Alonso's bat is absolutely there, and he has been one of the most durable players in baseball the last few years. Outside of the COVID-shortened season in 2020, he has played 150 games every single season, and clipping the 160 mark 4 out of those 6 seasons as well. He's somebody who's going to play every day. He's somebody who's going to produce. He has the track record, and he's going to be warranted big money. And let's talk about that contract. According to Spotrac, his market value is around 6 years, $176.5 million annual salary of nearly $29.5 million. So obviously it would be a little bit of a bump of the 1 year that he signed with the Mets for $54 million, as well as giving him that longer term contract that he's going to be looking for. It's a matter if the Red Sox are looking to add somebody like that on the open market. They probably could get somebody on a far cheaper deal, or B, they can look in terms of a trade, because definitely the Red Sox should be willing and dealing. I'm somebody that looks like, why would you give up assets when you can just throw money at the problem in that sense? Pete Alonso is somebody the Red Sox should most definitely be looking to go after. Not only does it show the fan base that you are serious about competing by addressing a desperate need in terms of power bat, in terms of consistent production, adding stability to otherwise a volatile position. Bringing in Pete Alonso is a win now move. You need somebody like Pete Alonso. You need a power bat supplies that level of production to be in the middle of your order if you want to be taken seriously as a contender. Looking at the landscape of the American League, that is wide open. You see the Toronto Blue Jays, that could easily be a team like the Red Sox, or another team that's interested in Pete Alonso, like the Mariners, like the Cubs, potentially. I think the Red Sox are a very, very good fit, but you guys tell me, where do you guys see Pete Alonso going? This offseason is going to be ramping up very, very quickly. It will be my hope that this offseason gets kicked off rather swiftly after the World Series. With all that being said, guys, that's going to do it for me, and I'll see you guys next time.